Seasonic, the heart of your system.
Welcome back, guys. I'm Stuart from GGF, and we are here at, of course, the Seasonic Computex 2019 booth. Now, Seasonic is one of our major sponsors for Computex 2019, so I want to give a huge shout out to them. Now, if you're checking out these three builds here, on the left and the right, so not the one in the middle, are the two builds featuring Seasonic's new Seasonic CONNECT Prime device. Now, you may have seen this last year. It was called like the Seasonic cable management device, and you can pretty much gather what it's going to be just by looking at it. It's kind of a whole all-in-one unit. You get the power supply attached to this long unit, and this is like a backbone to all your cable connections. So you've got your PCI Express for your video card, you've got your 24 pin for your motherboard, and then you've got your EPS at the top. We'll focus on another one around the back, but this rig here it's just sort of an all-out-there RGB rig. We'll get some shots on that later on just to show you. Now, moving over onto this one over here, Seasonic hit me up to do sort of a Seasonic-themed build, nice and clean, that really represent them. So I went with an all-Bixby build with this Bixby Veneno case, and it just really stands out there. And of course, we've got that Gigabyte Z390 Extreme Waterforce motherboard, which I painted white. Everyone loved that. And this whole blend, this whole case is really just shouting Seasonic. And of course, we've got the new Seasonic Snow Silent. That was sort of announced end of last year, and that just matches really nicely. Now, moving over to, so we've got sort of a purple theme build. I wanted to break up the colors, so I thought, why not? Let's do something that's purple. And this case and the other case, the first case we looked at, are both Phantek cases, and this is the Evolve X. All right, now moving around to the back of this purple build here, we can have a closer look at the Seasonic CONNECT. Now, it actually does clip on via magnets. I wasn't quite sure at first how well it would go, but it actually works really well. The magnets are strong. I only use 4 out of the 6, and then it just clips on. Now, you have to bear in mind, case support is going to be, it's going to depend on what type of case. I had no issues in these cases. Of course, you have to bear in mind something like an ITX case, it's not going to fit. So it's really designed for a case like this size, your Fractal Design R6s, similar cases to this. Now, some other features of this. Now, unfortunately, this is not RGB. This might change, but I'm not sure why Seasonic. I think Seasonic went with the blue because that does represent Seasonic's colors, so just the blue there. Now, in terms of wattage, as I said, it does come with a Seasonic Prime GX 750 watt power supply. So 750 watt, it is gold rated, and we don't have a sort of a price on this yet. So pretty much it'd be similar to what a Prime 750 watt is at the moment, and probably a little bit more for the cable management device. And sort of ETA for release, we're looking at Q3, and Seasonic have only 500 of these units at the start. They want to see how popular this is going to be. They want to see if it's going to take off, and then they'll be producing more later on. So I'm actually going to pull this panel off just so we can see. Now, I left this uncable managed for a reason, just to show you. So we did make up these panels just to show you how it sort of looks. Now, as you can see, that's the unit there. I can move this around wherever I want. The magnets are super strong. So as I said before, 4 8-pin PCI Express, so enough for 2 beefy cards in SLI, but bear in mind we've only got 750 watts. You can't just swap this out to another power supply. It's completely proprietary to this power supply. The connector is joined, and then you just plug it in down the bottom. Then we've got your peripheral over here, another peripheral here, a peripheral up here for like SATA, Molex, your 24 pin here, and then you also got your 2 EPS here. Now, some of these we're running cable mod sleeve cables. Recommended length of these are about 150 to 200 millimeters in length, because you don't want to be running a long 500 millimeter length cable and then have it all sort of bandaged up in the back here. The whole point of this is to keep your runs very short, very sharp and clean, straight to the back of this device. Another thing I want to check out over to the left is this beefy new power supply from Seasonic. Alrighty guys, now we're going to cover a few power supplies because we all know Seasonic, that's what they do best. Now, taking a look at this one, this is a Prime TX 1600 watt. Now, this is an 80 plus titanium certified power supply. So you're looking at 94% efficiency at 50% load. Now, if you just take a look at this thing is huge. Now, I know Seasonic are known for making smaller units, but when it comes to 1600 watts, there's only so much you can fit in a small power supply. Now, of course, it does have a 15-16 amp connector on there because you will need that. if you are in certain countries like the US. Now, I really like this design with the wraparound sort of wing design. You've got the traditional prime chrome there, and then it wraps around to the other side there. So no matter which type of orientation you have this in your case, you're going to see that nice logo either way. Now, sort of price, we're not sure yet, and ETA, I'd expect it would be pretty soon. Seasonic can smash out power supplies pretty quick, so you should be seeing this on the market soon. Now, moving to some other interesting units here, we have a fully 80 plus titanium certified 700 watt. Now what makes this fancy is this is fanless, completely fanless. If you want a silent system, this is the power supply to go with. Now bear in mind, when they say fanless, you do need a bit of airflow generated in your case. You can't just put it in a wooden box. You do need some airflow in your system, but it does not have a fan inside, so it is completely silent, and that is 80 plus titanium as well. Now moving over here, we love our snow silent ones, we love our white builds, and I'm really happy that they have now brought out a prime. This is their snow silent in 8,000 watt white power supply. I used one of these just as I showed you earlier in the Seasonic blue and white build, but they were only limiting them to 750 watts. Now you can go all out with a full SLI i9 setup, and you can go with this white power supply. So that's really good to see from Seasonic. Alrighty guys, now lastly at the Seasonic booth, I want to cover this awesome build done by the famous pro modder Ali. How's it going, Ali?
Good, my legs are hurting, I'm hungry and I need some sleep, but otherwise I'm okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So this build here is absolutely crazy. Obviously this isn't your first build, you've done plenty of builds before. What sort of got you into doing this design and this theme for the Seasonic booth?
Well, I had a couple of mods. They were standing at the booth at the Gamescom last year, and then Seasonic approached me and they said, hey, could you do something so that we could portray our power supply units? And as we all know, power supply units are something you want to hide them actually. Usually you're not really showing them. So I said, I'll take some elements of them, or I'll take some parts of them, and I'll integrate it into something, a model. Yeah, in this case it was a spaceship. And so I took the sockets from the PSU, as you can see, I made little windows out of them, and that sort of gives the illusion of scale. And for the first time, I actually made a model, because usually I take elements only, and I build my own designs, and I never make a model. But in this case, for the first time, I made a model. And so you don't really see much hardware, because the focus should really be on Seasonic. And the first idea was we make an oversized a power supply unit, but that would have been a block like any PC. And as you know, I don't like blocks. Yeah, I don't like just 4 sides or something. And then all of a sudden it just went haywire. I built the fuselage and the belly and the wings, first of all, out of wood. And then I clad them all in all these little plastic greebles and junk and everything I could find in my workshop, and 1,000 things which I pulled out of crates which I didn't even know I had anymore. And maybe you even recognize some of them, yeah.
Okay, so that's crazy. So this design, so this isn't anything from Star Wars, Star Trek, this is 100% you just sort of went wild with your own design.
Yeah, of course it's inspired by all the series which we know, the films and the series which we've been watching. Star Trek, Star Wars, Space 1999, and all those good series. But, I'm very influenced by the Klingon birds of prey. As you can see, it's got that I'm going to pounce on you look. But otherwise, the stern of the ship itself, or the bridge, I would call it, is a little bit, I'd say, from the Starship Destroyer, whatever they call it. And everything else is, you got a little bit of X-Wing, you got a little bit of, what do you call them, the Romulans. And depending on what I could find, the design evolved all the time.
No, that's really cool, awesome. It's just, to come up with a design like this, you've got LED lighting on the sides, everything that moves, it's just insane. So really, really well done. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Cheers. Awesome. Alrighty guys, that's it from the Seasonic Computex booth. Stay tuned for more videos tomorrow.